Are you tired of suffering from joint pain, low energy, brain fog, or just tired of being sick? If this is you, stay tuned. These type of symptoms can lead to something much bigger. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Everything Central Coast. I am very excited today to introduce you to somebody that's very special to me and many people around the area and all over the United States for many, many reasons. I would like to introduce you to Al Siamon, the founder of Balance 7 and many other wonderful products, which we will get into. But hello, Al Siamon, how are you today?
Tim, thank you for having me. I'm pretty darn good.
I'm pretty darn good too, and I'm glad you can join me today. Now, just so you all know out there, I've actually known Siamon for close to, well, Al for, I would say, 2.5 to almost 3 years now. So I would like to think that I know him well and that we are friends in addition to business,
Absolutely, positively.
working on business together and whatnot. So it's a long time coming that we sit down and we have a conversation. And I want to introduce you to everybody that's watching out there and first talk a little bit about yourself and how you came to be, and just a little bit of your background. I know it all, but I think maybe, but I know there's a lot of stories that you have. But yes, if you can talk about that.
Well, for many, many years, I've been a developer and inventor. I've created a lot of products that have been successful in the world.
What is it that is so important to you that you feel the need to continue? I mean, you're 93 years old. Clearly, you could be retired. Clearly, you could be sitting at home and relaxing every day, but you choose to come in to the office. You choose to continue getting the product out to the masses. What drives you?
Well, when people call me up and say they're sleeping all night, the acid reflux isn't bothering them, these are the things that keep me going. You know, I'm 93 and I want to live as bad as anyone. And I believe I'm the only 93-year-old man that's looking forward to the next 10 years. Because
I love that.
And I do this because I know my body is being protected. The disease is not going to get it. If I died, it's because I have a failure of my heart or something along those lines. But the disease is not going to kill me.
All right, Al. So what about your education? So we're curious about that.
Well, when I was 12 years old, I was ready to go into junior high. I went one day, and they gave me a letter to take home to my mother saying I was retarded and unteachable, and they put me in a special school for new retards. I went one day, because it was a nightmare school. The kids were absolutely unruly, crazy kids. I ran away from home, and I lived for quite a number of years in the basement of an apartment house with a refrigerator I plugged in and lived on a couch, washed up in gas stations. I collected soda pop. I played cards in the park with the old men, knock rummy. And I survived that for a lot of years like that.
Oh, my goodness.
It was an experience that I wouldn't want anybody to go through that I could help it. But I came through it, and when I was 18, well, actually, I enlisted in the Air Force when I was 17. I forged my mother's signature, and my mother found out about it and got me out of the service because she didn't want me in it.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry I got out because they said I had the third highest IQ in a flight of 5,000, they told me. Yeah, but...
so you've had that intelligence level.
It was innate, God-given, whatever the case it be. When you have dyslexia, it's a very hard thing for people to overcome. I cannot, and to this day, I cannot spell. I taught myself to write checks. That's the only thing.
That was about it.
And that's it. I've owned machine shops. I taught myself to be a machinist. I used to do specialized work for the aircraft industry that nobody else wanted to do. The one thing that I created that I'm not very pleased about, I made the first Bank of America slide bar machine for the credit cards in the early 60s.
Really?
It was the biggest contract I ever got, $25,000 to produce it. It had to be for under $15, and 3 other companies couldn't do it. I made it for $13.
Oh, my goodness.
And
you have stories and stories. I mean, every time I talk to you, there's more and more stories that are uncovered.
Well, the whole truth, when you don't have an education and you can't write, You have to figure out ways. You're scrambling all the time. For many years, I didn't know, I thought I was stupid. And I had a machine shop, and the kids sweeping the floors used to fill my invoices out. And this was really hard and embarrassing, so to speak.
Well, people still deal with that today, though. So this is a great story, because did you ever see yourself running a full business?
I've been in business. I only worked a year and a half for somebody else in my whole life.
Wow.
I've been in business since I'm 15 years old. One of the most important things about when you're dyslexic, it is such a difficult thing because you're embarrassed. And then I heard a senator from Colorado talking about dyslexia. I never heard the word, never knew anything about it. And he was describing his experiences in school, how when the teacher would ask him to write something on the board and he would break out in a sweat and his mind would go blank. That was me. And then when he taught that, I can read anything. Reading was never a problem with me. It was just the fact that sometimes the comprehension of the reading was difficult because it would move around on me. Words and letters would move around. That's the biggest problem I had. But I learned to overcome it and read. If I had to read a contract, I had to read it very carefully, but I did read it. My life was different than most people's lives.
Wow.
I've been in successful businesses most of my life. I've owned machine shops, gas stations, T-shirt shops. God, I can't even remember all of them. I owned a restaurant.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ahmad Norastani, an internal medicine physician who's been taking care of thousands of patients in intensive care unit. A little over 2 years ago, I was introduced to a product called Balance 7. I was amazed how quickly it helped my patients. The results have been wonderful. I now recommend Balance 7 to all my patients. Order Balance 7 so you could experience great results for yourself. Go to balance7.com and improve your quality of life.
I was diagnosed with incurable lung cancer, stage 4, and given 2 years to live. As far as I'm concerned, Balance 7's done a wonderful job along with the chemo. The doctor at the hospital was amazed at how much of the cancer had shrunk so fast. He was really surprised about it. He just told me, don't change anything I'm doing, because whatever it is, it's working. It's definitely a miracle cure for me.
This is just one of several success stories and how Balance 7 has been a miracle for people with severe illnesses. It is because someone was willing to try something new. Balance 7 just might be your miracle. If you're suffering from any type of illness, I strongly encourage you to try Balance 7. Put your health first. What do you have to lose? Go to balance7.com and improve your quality of life in just 3 days.
When I was 65 years of age, a doctor came to me. I went to the doctor the first time in my life. I went to a doctor because I didn't feel well. And the doctor said I had arthritis, some high blood pressure, some diabetes I had, and other ailments. And he says, it's just part of growing old. And I did not believe this man. And what I did is I went back and I started studying about what can bring the body back to health. And I found pH is the answer to almost every problem that we have. When our pH is low, our body is compromised and can't fight for you with diseases. So for 10 years, I researched and learned how important it is. And I came up with a product that has a pH of over 11, which is the highest pH anybody's ever drank before. And I started giving to friends of mine. And over the years, they kept insisting I bring it to the world, and I had no intention of doing it. I'm 69 years of age when I went back into business, and that's pretty old to do it. But I went ahead and I did it anyway. But this one that I created is called Balance 7. Balance 7 is a high pH product, which is over 11. And it has a profound effect on the human body. It increases the immune system capacity for healing. And that's all it does. But that's the most important part of your life. When your body's in a state of where your immune system is compromised in some way or other, anything can attack you and win. When your immune system is alive and well, it changes your body to be able to fight it.
Now, in your family, you've outlived your family.
Nobody in my family ever reached anywhere close to 90.
And you've been taking Balance 7 religiously for how long?
Since 75.
since you were 75.
And my wife is the same way. She's as healthy as can be. One of the most important things about Balance 7 is there's no side effects. It's all the ingredients are food grade. There is no problem with anybody taking it. There are a few people that have an allergic to one or two of the ingredients. It's less than 0.5% of the people. It's effective on 99% of the people. When you drink this in 3 days' time, your body will feel so much better. It's amazing to me.
And I just want to establish that Balance 7 is the flagship product of a line of many products. And more recently, and we'll get into that too, and we'll talk about some of the additional products that you've recently added to your line, because just to know, again, Al is 93 years old. He is still inventing products. He is literally doing everything he can on a daily basis to get these products out in front of all of the consumers in the world. And these products are all amazing. And I can say that, especially about Balance 7, because I myself went through my own major health incident and almost died, literally. And I attribute my making a full recovery to Balance 7. And there's many stories that I've heard. I've seen testimonials. I mean, Shannon, that's one of our most successful testimonials that we have out there being advertised on a regular basis. And this gentleman, I know him. His office is right next to me. And so to know these people are true to what they're saying, based on what Al's sitting here saying about his own experience and what he's dealt with, but to know these people, there's another person, Rachel Roberts, that is out of Texas, and she's got an elderly neighbor that she provided the product to. This gentleman, he loves to dance. His name is Hector. He hasn't been able to get up and dance in years. Well, he drank Balance 7, and within a week, he was up and he's dancing. As a matter of fact, they sent us a video of him dancing, and he was so happy. And of course, he's now telling people that he knows, and this is how the word begins to spread. And to Al's point,
That's what keeps me going.
exactly.
Stories like that.
And they're amazing stories, and there's so many. And I almost feel like everybody's body responds differently. There's things that we hear today that people send us that I maybe haven't experienced that, but another person did. And it just shows you that everybody's body is different.
Right. One of the interesting things about Balance 7 changes the immune system so that if you're taking drugs and it has a bad effect on you, Balance 7 seems to have a calming effect on the drugs so that you're able to tolerate the drugs more readily. And I had stage 4 cancer. The doctor told me I was too old to take chemo, and I said, I'll take the chemo, I'll have no side effects. He didn't believe me. And the truth is, I had no side effects. It actually energized me. And there are about 40 drugs that he was giving me, and some of them are very hard on your body. And my appetite never went away. I never lost weight. In 5 treatments, I was completely over the cancer.
And so, again, we're not saying that this cures anything. Al is basically letting you know that when you take Balance 7, it allows your body to work within itself to heal itself, right? And when it comes to cancer, same thing. We're not saying that this cures cancer, but if you're going through chemotherapy, if you're going through treatments, then this will help with those treatments. So
let me tell you how simple it is. Balance 7 is a very high pH. When it hits your stomach, the stomach needs an acid around 2. It dilutes the acid and brings it up to close to 8. The stomach says, I need more acid. It produces more acid, but at the same time, it produces an alkalinity that is so much more powerful. Balance 7 is no longer having any effect on the body whatsoever. It's the alkalinity that your body's producing that attacks the cancer, attacks anything that's wrong with you. So Balance 7 is just a key to open a lock to allow your body to do all the work.
And what are the ingredients? Because I know a lot of people ask that question, and
they're all ingredients that are used in the food industry for many years. There's no new ingredients. FDA says you can use these ingredients anywhere in the world, and they're non-threatening in any way, shape, or form. The trisodium phosphate, sal soda, and bicarbonate of soda. These three ingredients, when they were combined, they produce an entirely new molecule. The molecule is so unusual because it does things for the body that no other ingredients has ever been able to do before. There is no three ingredients that can make Balance 7.
Okay, so we've talked extensively about our flagship product, which is Balance 7. Now, in addition to Balance 7, there's also another amazing product which I use on a daily basis, which is my Smooth Skin. And I do have that here. This is also a phenomenal product. And you want to give the viewers just a little briefing on that.
My Smooth Skin is a very high pH. It dissolves skin cells. I'm 93 years old. You never saw a man with elasticity in their skin like that. Look at my face, how many less wrinkles there are. An easy test is if you spray it on the back of your hand, rub it until it's dry, and then look at the difference in the hands, and one hand will be 20 years younger. And it does it on every human being alive. I did it on my 12-year-old granddaughter, and her hand looked younger at 12 years.
No, it's a great product. Absolutely. And then most recently, you launched some more products.
Yep.
Okay, so the first one I want to talk a little bit about is Easy Flow. And that's a paint product.
Yep. Easy Flow is you add 7 ounces to a gallon of paint. It changes the paint in such a dramatic way. It makes the walls anti-static. When the walls are anti-static, dirt and dust do not get drawn into your home. When the door is open, dust and dirt will not be penetrate. My housekeeper dusts our house every 3 months. I know that's hard to believe, but it is true. When the walls are anti-static, the house will stay clean for months and months and months. You sleep better. The oxygen in your lungs becomes more available to you. And people with bronchitis or any bronchial diseases will find that their life is a whole lot better. They use less oxygen. It's quite a remarkable product. And
there's a lot of benefits to the painting companies and the painters that are even using the product.
The painters love it. They save about 30% on paint and 30 to 40% on labor. It goes on so much easier and smoother. In the airless, it's quite remarkable how good it is for them.
And then the newest products that have just recently been added is Best Brew. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about Best Brew.
Best Brew is amazing. If you drink coffee and you like coffee, this is the product for you. It takes the acid away and you have the full taste of the brew. So you don't have the problem with your stomach, you don't have a product with the nausea and headaches, and you drink the coffee. You can drink I can't say as much as you like, but certainly you can drink a lot more with no side effects to it. A Best Brew is the easiest thing in the world to enjoy coffee, the flavor, not the acid.
Nice. And then we have First Response. So let's talk a little bit about what First Response does.
First Response is when you cut yourself, burn yourself, any skin elements. If you put First Response on, it literally heals it up and takes away the pain. If you get sunburn, it's amazing. The sunburn pain disappears, the redness disappears, and you don't even get blistered. Do yourself a favor, keep a bottle handy because it is really a great product for keeping around, especially if you have children. You spray it on, the hurt goes away, and it heals up so much easier with no infection.
And so I have to ask, any plans for any more products?
I'm tired.
I don't think you're ever tired, mister. More soon. Stay tuned.
Are you suffering from indigestion and discomfort? Are you tired of not being able to eat your favorite foods or drinks? Are you not able to sleep because of indigestion? Balance 7 is a liquid-based alkaline concentrate with a pH of 11+, which will allow you to get back to your favorite foods. Enjoy food and life the way it's supposed to be enjoyed. Order now and feel the wonders of Balance 7. Money back guarantee. Go to balance7.com or give us a call today.
Diagnosed with incurable lung cancer, stage 4, and given 2 years to live. I had one spot of cancer over here, about 50-cent size, and then a big one over here, and my lungs were filling up and I had to get drained every 9 days. Within 3 months, 3 chemo treatments. I haven't had to be drained in 2 months now. This cancer is gone, and this one over here was about halfway, and it's got a different shape and smaller than what it was. So as far as I'm concerned, Balance 7's done a wonderful job along with the chemo. My hair's growing back. The doctor at the hospital was amazed at how much of the cancer had shrunk so fast. And that's when I told him I was taking the Balance 7, and he was really surprised about it. He just told me, don't change anything I'm doing, because whatever it is, it's working. I definitely recommend it to anybody, whether it's cancer, Alzheimer's, and heartburn. It's not just for cancer. I mean, you got any aches or ailments? That's what I'd suggest trying. Yeah, so if anybody's going through chemo and having a bad time with everything, and especially the side effects or something, you should give it a try, because it's definitely helped me. It's definitely a miracle cure for me. Never good to hear that you only have a couple years to go, but like I say, I had more on than mine, I know. And I'll keep going.
All right, Al. So obviously there's great leadership here, but with good leadership, there comes a team. And I know your team, which I'm going to call and refer to as your family, because if you know Al, Al literally treats his team and crew here at Balance 7 like family. I mean, these are people that come over for Thanksgiving dinner, right? And so the facility that we're in, which is in Santa Maria, California, let's talk a little bit about that.
I'm fortunate enough, each one of my people, I say my people only because they are my people, they're so great. They know the value of the product. They know what it does for people, and they're on board. I never ask them what they're doing. They're always doing the job. Never question about whether they're working or not working. They're so dedicated to this business. They take their own time and bring stuff to the post office that the post office don't pick up. These people are golden to me. I can't say enough about.
They really are, and you can see it, and how they go about their day and help you, and especially, and I will say, of course, Tammy's your right hand, and she's been with you for how long?
She's been with me about 7 years now.
About 7 years, and did you know her before then? Okay.
Working with Al has been amazing. He really cares about me as a person. He cares about my quality of life. He cares about what happens in this company and everyone that works for this company in the same quality manner, with respect, treats us as family. We know we're loved. We know we're cared for.
In my life, when people work for me, I never have people quit. I treat them with respect. They're always paid very handsomely as far as wages go. And their problems are my problems, and I've always cared for the people from my heart. I want people to be as happy as they can. If they work for me, they have to have a living, and they have to make a living, in a way that makes sense from my point of view, that they're living above what most people are living at.
No, Al's a great man, and I know that, and they would say wonderful things about you, every one of them, because they know you take care of all of them. You're always concerned with their well-being and what's happening with them in their lives, and that's what you call a family. This is like a family business.
Absolutely, positively. And if I had 1,000 people working for me, they would have the same effect. My dream is to make sure that everybody has a good life.
Very nice. And the facility, so the manufacturing component of this, because I know, there was a smaller location in Grover Beach, I want to say a couple of years ago. You've since moved into this larger facility. So what are your plans with this bigger production?
Well, as production goes up, I was afraid we wouldn't be able to produce enough, so I built this plant. I put in all modern equipment. No human being touched the product. It goes through automatically. It's bottled, labeled, and it's the most up-to-date facility I could buy. And my dream is, not a dream, but my future is I'm going to build 2 plants on the East Coast, 2 plants on the West Coast, and 1 in Texas, so that it can satisfy the needs of this country. Because one day, when the world realizes just how powerful Balance 7 is, they will come to the door, because it's so important. You live longer and healthier lives. What could be wrong with that?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. And so getting to that, as we don't want to ever see Al leave the world, but when that day comes, what would your legacy be? What do you want everybody to remember you from?
Just remember balance 7. I don't know a word about remembering me. Balance 7 is the reason I do all this, and balance 7 should be the focal of when I'm gone or not. If balance 7 continues to do the things that it's been doing now, that's my legacy. In my world, if people would just understand, you're here for a short period of time, don't harm, do good. Treat people with respect. If you see a piece of paper that needs picking up, pick it up. Those are small things, but if everybody did it, just think what the world would be like. Treat people the way you want to be treated yourself. The Bible says so.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ahmad Nooristani, a licensed physician that has been practicing medicine for the past 15 years.
Fact: millions of people suffer from low energy, joint discomfort, and overall poor health. People need healing from within their bodies. Balance 7 restores the body's natural defenses to improve joint discomfort, support brain health, and help sustain energy levels. See results in just 72 hours. Wake up and hit the ground running with Balance 7.
I'm Dr. Nooristani. I endorse Balance 7.
And so how do you feel about where you are today?
Well, today it's the greatest pleasure of my life. Everything I do is for the benefit of people. When people drink Balance 7 and they give me a report just how good it is for them, the cameraman is telling me that his heartburn disappears when he takes it. These are the things that keep me going. Some mornings I say, God, it's hard to get out of bed, but then I think of what I have to do in the office. I'm there.
Oh yeah, we know. You're making those calls.
I love this business because it's not just making money. It's all about helping who you are and all the people out there that I want the whole world to know about it, because there's nothing in the world better for your body than having your immune system fully awake. When your body's immune system awake, if something attacks you, I had 3 viruses attack me. I was in the hospital and the doctor gave me less than a week to live. My wife brought me Balance 7. I drank it for 3 days. On the 4th day, I was home. The doctor was so amazed. He looked at my medical records, and he couldn't believe that I'm alive still. And he became my partner. Dr. Nooristani is
Dr. Nooristani, exactly. And he's been an MD here in San Luis Obispo County for over 17 years. He's founded 2 nonprofit clinics here.
I met Alvin Siamon while he was sick in the hospital in intensive care unit. I was the attending physician. He talked to me about Balance 7, and eventually I became the CEO of the company. Balance 7 is an amazing product that I am recommending to all my patients, family, and friends.
I can't imagine that a doctor would just endorse and become the CEO to any product out there. Clearly, he believes in this product. He knows how well it works.
He takes it himself every day. He wouldn't be without it.
He suggested to patients, and there's other doctors here that are oncologists in San Luis County that also recommend Balance 7 to their patients that are going through chemotherapy. So that speaks volumes all on its own, really, truly.
If you know somebody that is ill, you know somebody that's going to go through cancer treatment, tell them about Balance 7. You'll be giving them the gift of life and happiness. Do yourself a favor. Do God's work.
More soon. Stay tuned. As you heard from us today, Balance 7 has transformed many lives. Start your transformation today. Go to balance7, the number 7.com, and order your Balance 7 today.